Just a disclaimer before we get into this video, I'm putting a warning for people who are sensitive to transphobia, homophobia, racism, or anything else related to the subject, so let's get into the video. If you've ever been on YouTube before, then you've seen animation channels like The Odd Ones Out, Jan Animations, or something else YT. But what if I told you there was a more darker side of the animation community? Meet Antoons, an animation channel that gets caught in controversy after controversy, from sending porn to a minor to blatant transphobia and racism. So let's jump into this darker side of animation. On September 18, 2020, the YouTuber named Daft Peanut uploaded a video called Antoons, the Racist Tracer, calling out Antoons for tracing and making jokes about only certain groups of people. And these people are women, black people, LGBT people, Jewish people, Europeans, furries, etc. But right now we are focusing on the tracing, but we'll get back to the jokes. In art or animation, tracing is one of the worst things you can do, as it does not improve your art skill, and you are tracing without the permission and are making money off of it. The tracings he is making money off of is one of his best known type of videos, is his deathbed videos. In these videos they include characters from different shows and games, from Sonic to Finn from Adventure Time. But Antoons defends himself tracing during this interview with Daft Peanut,
despite being capable enough to draw themselves. For Anton, he claims tracing is common in other parodies, so him doing it must be normal.
You can see for yourself that the tracing in parodies is extremely common, and I can prove you that people like Flash Kids, Oni, people like I think
Do
even
they have examples of them tracing?
Yeah, definitely. I can send you right now.
And so he gave me a few examples. One being Flash Gets' Paper Mario parody, which when overlaid isn't traced at all. Another point he went into to justify his tracing is that he wanted to get the characters as close as possible to the original works.
Because again, I wanted to have the same type of style as the original. Just
My reasoning is, did you attempt to draw it first before tracing?
No, because it takes obviously it feels just useless even, because in the end I want to recreate the same, I want to have the exact same style which the original artist was going for. If I were to do it myself and still get the same result, then what's the point?
Now that we have the least problematic thing that he has done, let's get into the more juicy things that he's done. In the summer of 2020, Antoon said he was going to take a break from making videos on YouTube and was going to start posting comments on Twitter, which in present day has been banned, but he has made a new Twitter account since then. Because of this ban, we can't really see most of the comics he posted, but because of the fandom wiki, we can see most of the controversial ones before his Twitter was deleted. As a reminder for people that are sensitive to transphobia, homophobia, and racism, this part might not be for you. As you can see in the comic that Antoons made, it is making fun of a sad event that happened last year in 2020 during the summer, which was the death of George Floyd, which sparked the rise of the BLM protests and riots. Antoons, or Freak's the name of the character in the comic, daydreams about going up to George Floyd while the knee is on George Floyd's neck and pulling out a face mask from George Floyd's mouth, which then hints George Floyd saying, "I can breathe." Now, to make a comment like this is really insensitive to what happened last year, and it degrades what happened. And honestly, this is a pretty racist comic, I would say. Now, I like edgy jokes, but this is just not my taste. This is too edgy. Keep in mind, this is not the only racist comic he has made before. In this comic, it shows two different characters, one representing a white person and one representing a black person. Now, as you can see on the top, which is the white person has both parents. He grows up to play soccer and athletes, goes to school, and gets a well-paying job. As you can see on the bottom, it shows a black kid growing up without his father, end up jerking off to porn, then smoking weed and playing video games all day, then going to protest. Now, it's a stereotype that black kids, especially boys, don't have a dad because they end up running away, and they don't really have their father figure that teaches them how to do things like tie their tie and other things to like nurture them. Honestly, I now think we're getting into the second worst comic out of the three worst ones I can find, which is, in this comic, he's implying that fighting for gay rights and trans rights is leading to pedo rights, and that gayer people are pedos. I don't know how he thinks of this, and by writing this comic, I am assuming that he's implying that gay and trans people are pedos. Again, I'm not sure on that, but just going off what he's implying through the image itself. And it's just strange, because in the LGBTQ plus community, when MAPS tried to join, they said, fuck off. Simple as that. So saying that they're going to lead to pedo rights, no. But these are the three worst comics I could find that during this time of him making comics he made. Now we're going to the dark side of Antoons. Six months ago, a YouTuber named Just Stop made a video on Antoons talking about him and the things he did to a Twitter user named PuppyChan. Behind the scenes, Just Stop Antoons started DMing Just Stop, or starts asking him questions like you would in like an interview. And what I'm going to get into is Antoons sending porn of them because this includes Harley TBS and Just Stop, or Harley otherwise known as the Clout Chaser. In these drawings, it shows Antoons walking up to them in his underwear, then sitting them down in a chair and spanking both Harley TBS and Just Stop. This is all strange. I know, it's weird. And now, Antoons himself does not consider this porn, but this is at least NSFW. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that Just Stop and Harley TBS are minors at the time of him sending this? It's illegal to send porn to minors, Antoons. Even if you don't consider it porn, this will probably be considered softcore porn. But, from what he drew, it implies a sexual or erotic undertone. My thought on Antoons is that he's a degenerate person that should just stick to doing animations and drawing, not even tracing. But this has only covered the tip of what he's done. And if you would like for me to cover more of what he's done, remember to like the video, because this took me longer than usual to edit and write a script for. And if you will, subscribe. Anyways, guys, I love you and stay safe.